So today let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Let's take our NYX Proof It Eyeshadow Primer. And for today's makeup look, we're actually going to be using the Urban Decay Naked palette. So the first one, more of the bronzed taupe palette. And of course, you guys know the usual, I'm just winging it. Literally, I have no idea what I'm going for. I just know that, hey, you know what? It's gonna work, whatever it is we do. And I left my makeup brushes in the car and I don't feel like getting them because you guys already know I'm so lazy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hopefully work with the e.l.f. brushes, and let's pray to Jesus that everything works out smoothly. And there goes my brush. Okay, so again, take it the Naked palette. As you guys can see, I just got this palette, so I'm super excited for it. And let me slip it out. Okay. And first, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Naked right here. And I'm going to use that as the transition color. I'm just going to go ahead and use it with the brush that's right here. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going with this eye look, but you know what? We're just gonna breeze right through it in hopes that it just works out for us. And of course, since this isn't the brush that goes with it, I'm gonna go ahead and use the e.l.f. small blending brush just to blend the color out. Funny story about this palette, you guys. So I went to Sephora. I won't say which one because, you know. So I go to Sephora and I asked, first of all, me and my boyfriend walk in, right? Just first we walk in because I went to go return the Vice palette. I wasn't a huge fan of that palette. And return the Double Exposure Smashbox palette. Wasn't a fan of that one either. So it's funny because, okay, before I get into it, going back with the Urban Decay one, and we're going to dip into the color Buck, and we're going to add that right, kind of just blend it the same way that we were blending the Naked one, and just blend it right, we're going to use this as our crease color. Let's just go with that. So anyways, so I go ahead, return the items, and me and my boyfriend leave, I was I wasn't in the mood to really look around, but then later on, probably an hour later, 2 hours later, again, we're adding Buck back into the crease of this one, of our second eye. And I walk in, you know, me and my boyfriend walk in casually, and he picks up the Tartelette palette, the Tartelette in Bloom, because he knows I've been after that palette forever. And I'm carrying it in my hand, just walking around with the palette around the store. And out of nowhere, one of the employees zooms over, because the Tartelette palette was right by the door. She zooms over and asks if we need any help. And I was like, oh no, I'm fine. Thank you so much, though. I'll let you know if I do. Said it like that. And she was kind of like suspicious. She was just acting very, very strange, I would say. I'm going to take an angled brush for this one, you guys. So again, dipping back into Buck. Acting very, very strange. And again, asking once more if we needed any help. And again, I said, no, thank you. I'll let you know. So I go and ask one of the employees, I'm like, oh, I was just wondering if you guys had the Naked palette, the first one. And she was like, she opened the drawer because there wasn't any in the, in the stock part. And she opens it and I see the palette right there. And she's like, no, we don't. And I said, okay, whatever. I let it go. You know, I'm not really a confrontational type of person. So then I go on, keep walking around the store. And these people are on mine and my boyfriend's backs. It was to the point where it was annoying, when you know that people they suspect something from you. I was walking around with the Tartelette palette in my bag, not in my bag, but in the little carriers, and then also with the Too Faced mineral press powder, just walking around with it. And now we're gonna go ahead, sorry, trying to rant and do a tutorial at the same time. It's not such a good idea. We're gonna go ahead and take Smog, this one right here. And I'm going to go ahead and take another angled brush, and we're going to use that as our corner color, as our corner crease color. And so anyways, like I was saying, she I asked and, you know, said no, so whatever. Like I said, I let it go. Continue to walk around the store, and they continue to look at us like wrongfully. Like, it was just to the point where it's like me and my boyfriend, we were no longer feeling like comfortable. Like, it felt as if they really thought like we were onto something. So then, you know what, I let it go, and just they're talking, they're keeping an eye on us. Need I remind you, I am a person, I am a beauty blogger, so I do purchase stuff. Like, I'm not just gonna walk into a store and walk around. Like, I am gonna try to find something to buy if I want to, and if not, I feel like it should be okay for me to walk around. So now taking SideCar, and we're gonna use that as our lid color. So I continue to walk around, and then I told my boyfriend, I was like, you know what, I feel really, really uncomfortable. I want to leave. So I take out the Tarte lip palette, and I told him just to return it to the front of the store back where it was. And I get up to the cashier, and I asked, the lady was ringing me out, and she was like, did anybody help you today? And I said no. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry about that. I was like, no, it's fine. And so I proceed to ask her, she's telling me my total, and I was like, oh, sorry to bother you, but I was wondering if you had the Naked palette in stock, the first one. And of course she said, oh, let me double check for you. So she goes, she doubles check. As you guys can see, I'm just building the color. She goes, she double checks, and sure enough, here she comes with the Naked palette in her hand. And she was like, oh, I was like, oh, okay, so I'll take out, I had like the Becca rose gold, what do you call it? Oh my god, highlight. And I was like, you know what, I'll take out that and I'll take the palette instead. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, it was funny, I was just wondering because I just had one of your employees tell me that you guys didn't have it. And she's like she kind of just like, as well, she also noticed, like, she rolled her eyes, and she was like, it's because sometimes they don't check. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, she was like, they don't check the understock or whatnot. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And my boyfriend was like, you should have said like it was just right there. And it was. The palette was sitting right on top. And finally, when me and my boyfriend were walking out, they all kind of just stare at us and were like, all right, have a nice day. I was like, okay, you too, thank you. And I'm going to take Virgin, the palette, and we're going to use that as our brow bone. So then, you know, I was just like, it was probably the worst experience I've ever had in the Sephora. I don't know if I want to go back, but definitely one of the worst experience. I've never felt like somebody was breathing down my back. You know, I understand it was just because maybe it was because of the holidays. Like my boyfriend said, he's like, probably they were getting a lot of stuff stolen, and you know, they were just trying to keep their eye out. I'm like, yeah, but there was like a ton of other people in the store with strollers and big bags. Need I remind you, I only had my purse. My purse was like next to me, it was closed shut, like, and my boyfriend walking next to me. So it's like, okay, and you just saw me come in and return something, so it's like you already know that I buy stuff here, but whatever. Hopefully, like I said, it won't happen again, but if it does, I probably will not be returning to that Sephora. Worst experience I've had. Now I'm going to go ahead and take Buck in the palette again, and I'm going to go ahead and use that as tightline it really, really close to my waterline, and I'm going to smudge it out. Same thing on the other eye. Okay. I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking like, oh my god, why are you complaining? You know, they're just doing their job. Don't get me wrong, I understand they're just doing their job. I'm a sales associate too, but that was just, I don't know, made me feel uncomfortable. Just the normal thought and rant that I had, and I wanted to let you guys know. Okay, now I'm going to take this white eyeliner and I'm going to just add it to my waterline. Okay. Now taking Sin with a smudge eye sponge, one from e.l.f. I'm just going to go ahead and add that right to the corner of my eye. Right in the tear duct, basically. Can't really see it, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go off camera really, really quick. And I'm going to go do a wing liner using the Wet n Wild Mega Liner. And I'm going to add some mascara using the Lash Accelerator by Rimmel London. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, my gorgeous potatoes, and there you have it. As you guys could see, all I did, I just added a wing liner. I used the Wet n Wild Mega Liner. This is their new formula, which I completely love. And then on the lashes, I have the Lash Accelerator by Rimmel London. Also really good, honestly, on its own. I always used to double in mascara using this one, and I forget which one else. I think Telescopic, but using it on its own, it's actually really good. I love how it did make my lash, like it did give my lashes like that volume that I wanted. And then on my lips, I have MAC Media. I haven't used this shade at all, and right now I'm looking at it and I'm asking myself why. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I understand that it was more of a rant than what it was a tutorial, but I tried my best to kind of express to you guys how Sephora did make me feel that one time. I don't feel like I look like the type of person that would do anything like that, but you know what? I understand. It's their job. It's just, for me, I don't know. But anyways, if any of you guys have had these kind of experiences at Sephora or any other store, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and we can definitely chat about it. Again, on this whole makeup tutorial, I just used the Naked palette, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. And as always, if you like to see more of me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!